Hi, and welcome back to Girltriesgames. We're playing Myst. So, in our last video, we retrieved both the red and blue pages from the Mechanical Age and put them back into the books. The guys in there both told us to bring them their respective colored pages, and we also solved the puzzle of how to get the linking book to Stoneship Age, which is the book we have in front of us now. We're on a boat, so that's why the background is kind of wobbling and making you seasick. But here we are. This is Stoneship Age, so let's go there and see what's up. We read a little bit about Stoneship Age in the last video in Atris's diary in the library. Okay, so here we are on a rainy ship. We're not on the ship we were in on Myst Island. There's a lighthouse that Atris talked about in his journal. Okay, let's see what we can explore here. We can't go down here, there's water. There's also water in this doorway, so we can go through there. Let's go over here to the other side of the ship. We can't get over there. There's another entryway that's filled with water. Okay, and off to the left here is a walkway, a wooden walkway. Whoa! Wooden walkway that goes around in a circle up to the top of the rock. We saw this in Atris's journal, the map of this island, where the boat was cracked in half against the rock. There's the lighthouse, little walkways, and this arching path that came up to the top. And up here is a telescope. Let's see what we can see in it. So there's degree numbers at the top. There's the lighthouse. Okay, so if we explore around, you see that it goes all the way in a 360-degree circle around the island. So you see here it goes from 350, 355 to 0, back at 0 where it's 360. And back around again, continuously. So it has a 360-degree view. Here's the lighthouse. Okay, so we don't know what that's for yet. So let's go back down, explore the lighthouse. I think that's the only part we haven't looked at yet. No, and we haven't walked out to that. Let's go to the lighthouse first. Walking along the skinny beams. Okay, the bottom is filled with water. There's a ladder ahead of us. Let's see if we can climb up the ladder. Okay, the door at the top is locked and there's a padlock. So we're gonna need to find a way to unlock that door. Look down, there's a key here, but it's attached to a chain and it won't really move. Okay. Looks like there's the top of a stairway right here that goes down into the water, but we can't get down there because it's filled with water. So let's go to the last thing we haven't looked at yet, which is this umbrella covered thingy out in the middle of the water. Okay. So it looks like there are some buttons. Let's press the first button and see what that does. Okay, it makes a strange pump sounding noise. And now we see that this hallway is now empty of water. It's a really dark room. We can't see much in here. So I don't think we'll be able to do much in here since it's way too dark. We can't see what's around us, so we might have to find a way to light it up. Okay, but now we know that that first button on the umbrella contraption clears the water out, or empties the water from this basement of the boat thing. Let's see what the second button does. Okay, you hear that strange noise again. And now this is filled back up with water. And this one is empty now. So we can go down here. Let's see, it just keeps going down, down, down. Down into a tunnel. And here's another door at the end of it. Ooh, and here's a nice fancy bedroom. It's very elegant, very extravagant. In the globe. There's a drawer full of a syringe and poisons, maybe? Who knows what that is? Medicine? I don't know. It's a fancy little sculpture that moves. Let's close the drawer back up. You can hear water bubbling, so we must be underwater. Okay, here's some more fancy decor. Okay, let's see what's in this dresser. So here we have a bunch of drawers. This drawer looks like more money. That drawer's empty. Second drawer has some silverware and cups. This has some wrapping paper, maybe? No, fabric. And look at that symbol. It looks awfully familiar. It looks like the flag of the bad guys who came to the mechanical age that Atris wrote about in his journal. Okay, and that drawer's empty, and what's in the last one? Oh, the red page. So let's grab it. We found the red page, so this must be Cirrus's room on this page. As we can tell from previous rooms, Cirrus seems to be very elegant, into a lot of fancy stuff. He has money around. So he's an interesting character. Okay, if you just saw, we passed a little symbol on the hallway door. Okay, so we just opened a little trap door with an alarm going off. Let's hope that there's nobody on this age that will see us. Okay, and on the ground there seems to be a compass. And if we know anything about compasses, we know that this fancy little decoration is north. Okay, and then there are these buttons around the edge of it. Let's see if we could get a better look at this. We can't do anything with them. Okay, so we can't do anything with these buttons. So let's go out the opposite way we came in. Okay, so off to the right should go up, and off to the left should go down. Kind of like the hall we were just in, but now we're on the other side. So let's go down and see. Oops, we came back to the same place. Alright, let's not do it this way. Let's not get lost again and go back up to the top. And I'm tired of hearing that alarm. I hope we won't get in trouble. let's go down here. This one is also free of water now, so we can go down. We can still hear the alarm going off from what we set off earlier by going through that secret passageway. Let's not go in there again. We know what's in there. Nothing we can do yet. Here's another door. Okay. Now here's another bedroom that is a lot more barbaric. Kind of reminiscent of the barbaric room that we found in the Mechanical Age. Here there's some kind of tribal-looking masks. There's a dresser. Again, let's look at this. What is this? There's a little contraption. There's a rose. Changes to a skull. It's a hologram. So that's nice. There's some maps. More maps, lots of maps. Did we look at all of them? I think we did. Oh, no, we didn't. Here's a letter. Okay, we see marker switch. Okay, let's write this down, because we can only see half of the note right now. We want to know what it's going to say. Okay, so marker switch. And then I see ISL, which I'm going to assume is going to say island. Okay, the vault. A vault is locate, so probably located. Something, something. The island of probably Myst, I'm going to go ahead and guess. Achieved very EA, maybe easily. Instructions are FO. Each of the marker something. Turn everyone something. Quotation on position. THE. And then as a final step, comma, TU, there to TH. Okay, so we still don't know much about what this message is saying. We know it's discussing the marker switches, and that there's a vault, and something about turning everyone to the on position, and then there's a final step that we don't know anything about yet. Okay, so make sure to take note of that. Try to remember what it's saying. I wrote it down because, again, I have a bad memory. You may not, so you might not have to write everything down like I do. But I think it's important to remember. Okay, and here's the blue page on a dirty, gross bed. But we already have the red page in our hand, and as we found out from the last stage, we can only carry one page at a time. So we're going to leave that one here and return for it later. Okay, the alarm is still going. We have wreaked havoc in this age. Okay, so now we're going to go back to that umbrella contraption and see what the last button does. You might be able to guess because the first two emptied out water. The last one probably empties out water. And the last place that we haven't been to that was filled with water is the lighthouse. And now it is empty. And we can go down the stairs to see what's down here. And the forever stairs. Okay. And there's a chest down here. We can open it. But there's a little spigot underneath. So we emptied the chest of water. So now it's empty. Let's close it back up. Okay, so the chest is locked. We should guess that this key that's attached to the chain, this key can either go to this lock up here or the lock on the chest down below. So what we just did, that chest was sunk when the water was full. When the bottom of the lighthouse is full of water, the chest was at the bottom. We didn't see a chest. Even though wood floats, that chest was at the bottom. We just emptied a ton of water out of it, which shows that it was filled with water, which made it heavier to sink down to the bottom. But now we have emptied that chest of the water and closed the spigot back up so water can't get back into it. So now, if we fill the lighthouse with water yet again, that chest should float. Let's go try it. So let's click another button so the lighthouse fills back up with water. It's now nighttime here on Stoneship Age. And there we are. The chest has floated up to the top. And now the key, this key should be able to reach. There we go. Okay, and there's another key that we can hold inside the chest, which we can probably open this padlock. Okay, and the padlock fell away to who knows where. But now our attic is open, or the top of the lighthouse is open. So let's see what's up here. It's pretty empty except for this small crank. Let's see what it does. Okay, we can crank it. Let's look at what this is. Well, I guess you can't get a good look at it from this angle. But if you can see, this looks like a battery and this looks like a generator. And as we crank it, the level on the battery raises up. So we're charging the battery by cranking the generator. Okay, and now it's filled all the way to the top. So let's go see what that generated power for. Okay, where was there darkness? We saw darkness both in the underground basement of the ship, and there was also darkness in our secret passageway down here. So since this is already empty, let's go check that way first. And the alarm doesn't sound like it's going off anymore. The door is closed again. Okay, this time when we opened it, the alarm did not go off. And now there's light in here, and we can actually see where we're going. Okay, so we're here with the compass yet again. This way is north. So this is a circle. And this is a compass. We could press buttons. But when we press the wrong button, the alarm goes off and the lights go out. So we have to figure out what button to press on that compass before the light goes out. So, if we think about what we've seen on this island, we have seen not that many things. This is a pretty simple island. It's a pretty simple age. What have we seen that is reminiscent of a compass, or of circular degrees? We've seen this telescope up here that represents 360 degrees around the island. Or not represents, but shows us the 360 degrees around the island. Okay. We probably have to find an important degree on this compass to represent? The only thing we've seen so far in this compass is the lighthouse. Everything else is just rocks or the tips of the boat. So let's go back and generate the power again and see if that makes a difference. Let's go back to the lighthouse and generate the power. Back up to the top. Okay, let's go to the telescope now that we've generated the power, and see if there's anything different. Look, the lighthouse is blinking now that we've generated power. Let's go to the telescope again. There, we can see the lighthouse blinking. Now, what degree is the tip of the lighthouse on? It's between 130 and 140, so that we can guess is 135. Maybe that's the special degree we need to press on the compass. Let's go back down and see if we can try that. Without setting off the alarm again. We do not want to do that. Here's our secret passageway. The lights are back on and the alarm is back off. Look at the compass again. Okay, so if this is 0 or 360 degrees, if you remember geometry, this would be 90 degrees, this would be 180 degrees, and so on. Okay, but we don't need to go past 180 because we're going to try at 135. So what's between 90 and 180? What would this red one be? So the easiest way that I can, since I'm not a math person, I'm going to take 90 and add 45, which is half of 90, and that makes 135. So the way I did that was, since this is in between the 90 degrees, I know it's 45 degrees away from this 90 degree mark. So 90 plus 45 is 135, and that's exactly where the lighthouse is on the telescope. So let's click it and hope that the alarm doesn't go back on. Ah, more lights came on. The submersible lamps outside under the water. If you remember in Atris's journal, he wrote about the submersible lamp, or he drew a picture of submersible lamps. Okay, so we turned on some underwater lights, which now might help us be able to see in the other under basement thing of the ship that we couldn't see in earlier. Let's go try to make it work. But we have to empty the water out first. Lighthouse is still blinking, so we know that the generator is not out yet. Or the battery's not out yet. And let's see what's down here now that the lights are on. Now that the submersible lamps are on. There's a table that we can click on. And here's our Myst book. So now we have the red page in our hand. We can return to Myst. So let's do it. And let's return to Myst with the red page. Give it back to Cirrus. library. Okay, so we have the red page. So stay tuned for the next video where we'll add yet another red page to Saris's book and see what he has to say this time. So stay tuned for the next video, and thanks for watching.